My name is Bill Wheeler. I'm running for District 1 here in the city of Everett, and I'm making this video in response to a big hot button item that people in my district are talking about is this new field and how it's going to impact taxpayers and what we can do about it. So I'm going to make this as pointed as I can possibly make it to all the residents in the city of Everett as possible in regards to the Funko Field. You get what you vote for. You get what you vote for. You guys voted for a bunch of idiots, and you played stupid games, and now you got stupid results. And congratulations. Um, you know, no matter who, vote Democrat, right? That's what you guys go with. That's what you got. Um, what else can I say? It sucks. What can you do about it? Vote for somebody that isn't going to placate to all the crazies out there and all the loons that keep pushing this crap. But as far as the future of Funko Field, you're completely screwed. Um, I don't know. Maybe Mayor Franklin won't win her election. The incumbent seems pretty strong, but you know what? He may not do anything about this new field either. So, you know what? You're completely screwed. Our previous district representative Foose was for this. She voted for it. So yeah, you voted for an idiot and you got idiot results. And this is why you need to pay attention to what's going on in your town. So what's going to happen next? Well, next is you're going to get taxed even more because now they're going to have to pay for this. Um, Around $160 million is probably going to be double that by the time it's done. It's going to cost more to build this stadium than it cost to build the new I-5 going from Tacoma all the way down to Olympia, which was about a $110 million project renovating the entire freeway. So this field already is going to supersede that. Congratulations to all the people out there who like to virtue signal. You just mortgaged the futures of all the kids that your bleeding heart says that you care about. This is peak socialism. It will fail. This stadium will not be able to produce revenue. If it's lucky, it will break even. The tenants that it has are just going to be in there as a shill. They're going to be overcharging customers. Nobody's going to be buying anything there. They'll be basically mortgaged to the hill just to get a spot there leased out. No local normal business owner is going to be able to lease out a spot in this place. So Everett, in their ultimate wisdom, put out this response because they think we're all idiots. Everett has always loved the Aqua Sox, but their home at Funko Field doesn't meet new MLB standards. So why not just renovate? Before we go further, they refuse to release any statement by MLB to this date. I want everybody to commit this to memory. To this date, they have not given anybody, after being requested multiple times, an official letter from MLB saying that we do not meet the requirements and we need to do this, that, and the other thing. Now, MLB may have stuff on their website. You can take their requirements and compare them to what we have, and you could surmise, you can guess. But if the city of Everett has this document, it hasn't been made official and it hasn't been released where people could actually see it because I've seen the channels and nothing's come out, and people have been continuously asking for it. So MLB, wink, wink, right? So MLB standards. So why not just renovate? We receive this question a lot, and the truth, because the city of Everett is very fucking truthful, is the current location just doesn't work. It just doesn't. It just doesn't work. I don't know why you're asking, guys. It just doesn't work. Funko Field, owned by the Everett Public Schools, is used year round for student athletes. Amazing. Amazing. Year round. I pass by it every day and nothing's going on. So apparently I'm just I'm just in the big picture. It's used every day, guys. Come on now. So it's being used year round for student athletes. This facility has limited space. Limited space. It's a if you've ever been there, it's a baseball field. Adjacent to it is a huge field where you could play soccer, where you could do whatever the hell you want on this field. It's humongous. People, when they bring their dogs there, they throw balls in this field. It's big enough for a soccer field. I don't know what they're talking about. Let's not talk about the 5 acres adjacent to it that the landowner is willing to sell to the city to expand on that. But that's here or there. So this facility has limited space, tight scheduling. Tight scheduling. I don't know, that 5 acres next to it could, you could make something work, and no room for soccer or other events. Okay, I'm going to drop an aerial of this to go with this, so you could see um, the absolute stupidity that we're dealing with this. So the facility has limited space, tight scheduling, and no room for soccer or other events. Renovating it would still fall short and cost us opportunities in the process. That is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. It is a lie. This is a lie. 110%. They didn't even consider uh, what it would take to be within standards. You know what the standards are? Adding a bathroom, a changing room. You could do that with a modular facility adjacent to it. They have a little beer garden area that nobody ever fucking uses. You get a modular facility on there, act as a changing room, and you could even put a beer garden on top of it. Problem solved. I mean, this isn't the professionals. These guys are going out there. They're trying to get enlisted by professionals. I mean, yeah, we want to do as much as we can for them to make them comfortable, but this is complete bullshit. And then they want to go on and say the downtown site over by Lowe's, right? Fucking Tweaker Alley brings walkability, transit parking, economic growth, and so much more. So much more. Because apparently, for you to bring economic growth, you have to take out businesses um, and historical sites, right? So, um, yeah, it's the best path forward to create something that truly works for today and tomorrow. And they said, curious, have concerns, let us know below, we're listening. So here's the deal, they're not listening. Um, they've, I don't even know where to go with this because this is beating a dead horse. It's complete bullshit. They don't listen to you, they're not listening to you. Stop voting for idiots. And this kind of stupid stuff wouldn't happen. And it's not just Funko Field, which, you know, what does this have to do with fucking taxes, man? What does this have to do with taxes? And then on top of that, they're now talking about raising our taxes on groceries to pay for bonuses to attract officers to work in Everett. So that's even more taxes increased on top of the annual, semi-annual increases from PUD, which I just found out some fun facts about this Funko Field and how it's going to be managed and bonded. That's going to be exciting. They haven't been very straightforward about the utility district running this thing and how we're expected to hand it over. We're going to be gifting this property after the taxpayers paid for it. So yeah, Everett is so screwed, and people aren't even paying attention. So what's next? What's next for Everett? So here's what's going to happen. I hope I get voted in because I would be the only guy up there telling them how much this is all bullshit. At least something. At least there's some kind of voice that would get heard with the council. As it stands, it is 100% Democrat. Um, it's 100% socialism. We are a republic. We are not socialist. I don't know what else to do here. Federal intervention, because this is getting crazy. So they want to raise our property taxes even more. This is going to get handed over to the utility district. And all the other candidates are either pro union, pro teacher, pro tax, pro levy, pro this, pro that. I mean, and in the same breath, they talk about building affordable houses and raising taxes, like as if the two don't go together. $400 to $600 a month in your payment for your rent goes to taxes, and they want to raise them. So if they got rid of your property taxes and you didn't have to pay that $400 to $600, now you're talking about affordable housing. So if it ain't affordable, it's the city's fault. Remember that. Yeah, stop spending $2 million to build a bathroom. Stop spending $400,000 to do a survey that should cost maybe $3,000. Stop spending $30 million when you budgeted $9 million for a renovation on a building that should have cost you far less than that and probably didn't even need it. Stop spending $60 million on a bridge when supposedly the contracting company reported to their investors that they only made 27 million. So I mean, where did this money go? Where did all of our COVID money go? Where did all this Build Back Better money go? Funny, election year, and all of a sudden construction crews want to get off their ass and start doing sidewalks and stuff. You know, they've been missing the last 3.5 years. So it's kind of funny how that works. This town is going to be absolutely decimated, and it already is. And I make these videos because I've seen this town in the highest of highs, and right now it is in one of the lowest of lows. And you got some people out there that are the dumbest of dumbs that are just rolling with this, and they are just plowing us over, guys. Like, um, it's sad because you you feel a numbing down and a deep sorrow for how great it was as a child being here and not appreciating it at the time, and then realizing now how much of that has been taken away. And the younger generation doesn't have that. It's very disheartening. Um, and what do you do with that? You know, you got you we let the people that were just the shittiest of people into these positions because they have the loudest mouths and complained. And I think a majority of us just sat back and said, you know what, I'm too busy for this shit. And we're going to let you just do whatever you want. Okay, Karen, go in there and run your mouth and you know, be the boss. And I don't think people realize that this position with all these other council positions, and I don't think they realize that the local um, system at a local level could do so much damage. And it kind of gets convoluted when you look at the big picture and you watch the major news and media because people got their eyes on Olympia and what Ferguson is doing. Well, you know what? Ferguson isn't the one doing all this shit. Ferguson's not the one doing all this. So this is all coming from uh, the dumbasses on the city council. This is all them raising taxes. This is the silver spoon, um, golden rattle coming at us for those of us that work and have 30% of our paychecks taken away, and then the other 30-40% sucked away in taxes on everything else, and then property taxes and high rent and food and groceries. At the end of the day, we can't save shit. These people don't see that because they've never had a job under 100K. They've always lived the high life. And if they didn't, they've been so far um, past that in their lives that they literally stick their thumb in their nose at us and belittle us because we're idiots and we just need to pay more. That's easy to say when you're the mayor making $270,000 a year. That's easy to say when you're um, in these government positions or making over 100K a year. Um, I've never had that luxury. I've always been below that margin in my life, and I'm fine with that. I'm happy with that. Um, I live within my means. But that doesn't mean that you get to use me as a fucking pincushion and take from my pocket every fucking chance you get. And I shouldn't be working every fucking day, 12 hours a day, to give my money away to a bunch of assholes sitting on city council that have barely fucking worked a day in their life. This is absolutely ridiculous. So yeah, this Funko Field thing, fuck Major League Baseball. Uh, I don't fucking give a shit who they are. These people can kiss my ass. And I know a lot of people feel that way. They don't pay my fucking bills. Um, and then you got just a bunch of fucking liberals sitting there. Oh, we need to thank natives for our land while we fucking tax you like crazy and drive businesses out. And like, get the fuck out of here with all that stupid nonsense. All that's bullshit. This is all bullshit. It's a game, and they're playing with people. They're playing with lives. They're taking old people's fucking homes because the city's taxing them so much that they just can't afford them anymore. You have them jacking up the prices of real estate, and then you want to talk about, oh, well, it's limited housing. Well, no shit, it's limited housing. Who the fuck owns the retirement homes? BlackRock, other major huge corporations. So this is how sneaky these bastards are. They go and they let these old people lose their homes because they just can't afford them, and they fuck around with them paying their property taxes. So they're forced to hawk their homes to the actual elderly care facility, and they go and put a lien on it, and then when they pass away, they take the whole fucking house. And what do you think that does to the property when they go and they talk to their buddy who's a realtor, and all of a sudden they're jacking up the price and getting out of state people moving in here? Yeah, they're jacking up the cost, man. So don't sit here and tell me I don't know your games. Yeah, I know your games, and it's not the city's responsibility to go and build you new homes. But so we screw with other developers to the point where nobody wants to be a developer and to build homes for people. So we'll screw them over enough to where the only one that could get a project approved is if you're associated with the city and your union, and we somehow got our fucking thumb in the pie. Like, come on, like, so done with the bullshit. I mean, I don't know. Let's let's hope. Let's hope. Let's pray. Let's do something here. Maybe maybe things will turn around. I don't think so. Take back your town. For movements to take place, people have to be engaged. And you know what? This town is so beat down. They we have a lot of working people here. Um, how do you even put that? We're like basically we're just slaves here. We're all just slaving away. Most of us work so many hours a day. We come home, we just don't have time for this bullshit. We don't have time to care about what the city council's doing or what decisions they make because they're not the ones putting food on our table. All we know is that our paychecks, we get bonuses, but then they keep getting smaller because they keep taking more taxes out. And then we keep hearing about people getting all of our money. And then we keep seeing all the programs and things that they pay for, and we look at it and it's complete shit. And we know it's shit because we're working all fucking day and we're giving 110%. I give 110% in everything that I do when I'm at work. Nobody can say I do a crap job at my job. I give 110%. I make sure I'm the highest performer that there is in the profession that I am professing to be in because I don't want people to look at me as if I'm a bag of shit. That is a good work ethic to have. And there's a lot of people with that work ethic in this fucking city, and they get pissed because they work all day, they have that work ethic, they see that they put 110% in, and the city is giving them maybe a percent. And they're taking their money and they're saying they're building bridges and fixing things. And then you look at it, it's just the crappiest work you've seen. And it's like you could just do so much better. With the amount of money spent, this town should be beautiful. It should be immaculate. We should have beautiful things. We have the largest exporting company here. The more we export more goods than Seattle. We should be cashing in on this. Before this even happened, before Trump got into office and started talking about tariffs, I was talking about tariffs before Trump was talking about tariffs because I was saying how stupid it is that we have one of the largest ports in Washington state exporting out of our back fucking yard, using our ports. We're paying for everything, and yet we aren't getting shit. We should be getting a cut of that pie. Even if we had just a fraction of a percent and charged for goods leaving our port, we would be the richest city in the state of Washington, and we don't do it, and we should be doing it. We should be doing it. I mean, I've traveled the world. I've seen the way other countries do things, and this country is completely jacked. We think we are the best in the whole world, and we got it down. And I tell you what, there's a lot of countries that got it figured out way more than we do. Just in the freedom, the taxes, they give back more to the communities. They're happier, they're healthy, their kids are outside, they play, they feel safe and secure, and housing's affordable. We can have all that. We can have all that if our leaders were just not so damn corrupt. And it is the corruption that is plaguing the city. And is it too late? I don't know. I feel a lot of it's too late. I want to be excited. I want to be happy about our city. But I mean, the fact of the matter is, I can't sit here and tell you, like some of the other competitors, Everett is open for business, because I would be fucking lying to you. Everett is not open for business. Everett is fucking closed. If you are an out of state company and you're looking for a place to go in Washington, Everett's the last motherfucking place you're going to want to be, because we will screw you over big time. Our gas is high. Our taxes are high. Our utilities are high. The city doesn't give a shit about you. They won't help you. We have no resources for you. Done, 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 and done. Done. Unless if you are doing government work and you're giving somebody somewhere kickbacks, I guarantee you ain't getting nothing out of this city. So Everett is not open for business. And I don't even, question came up about small business owners. Small business is dead. Small business is dead. You can't rent a place on 99 or Everett Mall Way, a good, decent place for like $14,000 a month. Okay. The amount of money you would need daily just to stay in operation, profit would have to be around $1,000 a month. And then you still got to worry about payroll. You still got to worry about supplies. You still got to worry about taxes. By the time you're done as a business owner, you're better off getting a job and not dealing with the payroll, not dealing with the taxes, and not dealing with all the drama of owning a business. And a lot of business owners are figuring that out. So the businesses that we do have now are a result of them going to the bank, getting huge loans out. Usually a lot of them happen to be franchises. They get in these franchise agreements, they sign these huge loans, they get places around Everett Mall Way and Evergreen Way. They'll open up a business for a few years, and then as soon as the money has been sucked dry from the city of Everett, they have no choice but to close the doors because they just cannot afford to do business in Everett anymore. I opened this up for discussion. Prove me fucking wrong, because you can't. You can't, and you know it. There's nobody that can prove me wrong. This is all based on facts. So, we're screwed. All these coffee stands that you see around this town, all the little kiosk stands that you see that Everett was known for, mark my fucking words, they're all going out of business. They don't know it right now. They don't know it right now, but they are completely screwed. I don't blame them. I blame the city, and they were lied to. And it's unfortunate because you see new owners taking over these locations and they were completely bamboozled. They were lied to about the numbers because you don't sit in there and say that you have to pay somebody 20 something dollars an hour. Just let me break this down. 20 something dollars an hour. As a previous owner of these espresso stands, you are lucky if you make between $100 to $500 a day. So at $20 an hour, you have one employee in there for, let's say, 10 hours. That's $200 a day. You're already negative. You're net negative. You are completely done. So you're lucky if you get it 500 a day, if that. And if you got two employees working two shifts, that's $360. $360. So, and then if you sell $500 in goods, you have $200 that you need to buy in supplies. So we're already at 500 fucking something dollars. You're not even including utilities. You're not including rent. You're not including the biggest one. The biggest one, employee theft. Employee theft amongst these espresso stands is astronomical. Astronomical. Still from you left and right. And hey, if you go and you have an employee, and if you have an employee and you tell them you count cups and you look at your till and you see your video surveillance of them stealing product, listen to this. You see them stealing your product and they work for you, and you say, you know what? If you don't, you got one of two options. You either put the fucking money back or you don't have a job. You are exploiting them. You are the city of Everett views you as an absolute fucking criminal. They will look at you as a criminal. Ask me how I know. We can go down that rabbit hole. Yeah, I dare you, city of Everett, you bunch of motherfuckers. Come at me with that one. I got the receipts. I can back all that up. So yeah, let's talk why. Let's talk why. Let's get into the real brass tacks, the real crutch of this issue. So you ran them out. You ran out these businesses. You go down Evergreen Way. You got a complete moron not to see it. Just count the amount of closed fucking doors there are and boarded up windows. Okay, so does that not seem like the objectives of meeting Agenda 2030, 2044, the Green New Deal? You will have less and be happy. You will have nothing. Yeah, this is all part of a huge fucking plan. It's all a game. They're laughing. We're just paying taxes because, we're the slave class, So, I mean, I hope things go well. Vote for me. I mean, we can be suckers and keep letting them just get us, I guess. I mean, I'm trying to be as straightforward and honest with people as possible. Sorry if my language offends you, but I mean, you know, been nice the whole time. I mean, look, I've ran a few times for office, and being nice doesn't get you jack shit. So, it's best to just be your authentic self. Go up there, and if people are acting like a bunch of dumbasses, tell them they're acting like a bunch of dumbasses. Yeah, do it in a nicer way, but you know what? I worked 14 hours today, and I don't give a shit because I make videos like this. They're meant for people to tune in and discuss. Tune in, discuss, ask questions. Ask questions, email me, shoot me an email. Um, I love to hear from people. I responded. I talk to a bunch of people all the time, and it's unfortunate because some of those discussions, um, they hit a dead end. They hit a dead end because it's like, well, I feel for you, but what do you want? They don't back their candidates. They've never backed a candidate. I mean, as far as like, you know, tell people to vote for me and all that stuff. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, but it's like, where were you this whole time, man? Where were you this whole time? You waited till things got this bad. We're at the Rubicon. There ain't no going back. You know, once you hit, like I explained with the espresso stand thing, there's no going back from that. There's no going back from that. Every espresso stand you currently see in the city of Everett is owner operated, or they have mortgaged so much out in that business that by the time all the money is sucked up and dry, they will be out of business. Okay, those are just the coffee stands. All right, so all the other businesses, the restaurants, in the cafes. Those are next. Those are next. Okay. You can only hide the fraud so much, right? And now we're going to get into something juicy. Okay. So all these places that are left standing, how are they making enough money to have 10 people in back working when they're open for 15 something hours a day and they're only getting 2 to 3 people an hour, spending maybe $20 each if they're lucky? Let that fucking sink in. And then you got them in locations where they're spending $10,000 to $14,000 a month. So now we're getting into uncharted territory here, because now this is Bill Wheeler 2.0. This is when I was running for Senate. And I said, and I got laughed at, and it's come out from Homeland Security, that our biggest exponential threat right now is not necessarily the southern border, but it's the fucking northern border. Because, like I've been saying for years and years and years and years, our northern border with Canada is a fucking joke. And you have more drugs running through the city of Everett because it is a halfway methed out fentanyl drop off, and God knows who's on the take. So you want to get into the real nitty gritty with our ports and our marinas and the little investigations that kind of go under the door, and our restaurants that are in locations that are prime, worth thousands of dollars a month, that just happen to be thriving with no customers. I mean, hello. So, yeah. When are we going to talk about that? Because nobody wants to talk about it. Everybody wants to turn a blind eye on that. Yeah, so Everett has completely screwed itself. There is no job around this place. No business is going to be able to be a small business owner and open the doors and operate unless if they are owner operated. The city of Everett's new agenda is trying to limit the amount of home-based businesses. So you starting a business in your garage is going to be, from the city's perspective, it's going to be against the law. It's going to be something code enforcement can come out and fine you for doing out of your own house, for starting a business from the ground up, from the grassroots up. Um, you know, many companies that are big today started in their garages. They're trying to ban that in the city of Everett. So you can't even start in your garage and save up and hustle and make money and get a storefront and get a bigger one and work your way up the corporate ladder. They want to get rid of that shit. They want to shut that down. They want your home. They want your paycheck. They want you to be a slave. They don't want all this shit up and down the street. They want coffin apartments. They want more taxes. They want to get rid of the stores. They want to get rid of all this shit. They want 5-minute cities, walking, slaves. When this sinks in and you understand where this is going, you're going to see the big picture. And I don't know how much talking I got to do and how much driving this point home. Yeah, we're screwed, guys. We're past the Rubicon here in Everett. And yeah, people wake up, because you're asleep at the wheel, man. Asleep at the wheel. Um, Full circle. What can your representative do? Well, every time I talk about what a representative does, I'm sorry, but I start going off about something else, because our representative sucks so much where we're at that it is beyond ridiculous. We literally have traffic cameras in front of hospitals here in Everett because we like to make sure that we catch everybody going to the hospital in haste. So while your loving one is dying, you're getting a ticket in the mail. Yeah, that's the caring and compassionate side of Everett. That's where the bleeding liberal heart gets you. Zero common sense and all about that money. And and the crazy part is these companies that come in and they do these traffic cams, the amount of revenue that the city actually gets after giving them their cut and greasing the palms of the company that monitors them and takes care of all this equipment is fractional. They make a fucking killing. Um, the city makes a fraction of that. So, congratulations. Yet again, you screwed over the population. And then you idiots sign this. So they signed this agreement to bring in these cameras, traffic cameras, on the verge of a artificial intelligence boom where you are going to have mass-produced self-driving cars. So this whole fucking plan to generate revenue from your little traffic cameras isn't going to do shit anyways. If anything, you're going to have an even bigger shortfall. So you guys are a bunch of idiots. Um, wow, that's what happens when you live in a rich side of town, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where do you even go with this? Where do you even begin? Um, but yeah, I haven't made a video in a while. Um, honestly, the problem is with these videos is I get very emotional when it comes to this city and certain topics, and the whole thing just it pisses me off. And then like the other local politics, like we had a little No Kings rally going on down here, and you know, here's the thing about the No Kings rally. No Kings rally, who the fuck are you protesting at your little No Kings rally? You're standing out there like a bunch of assholes. You're blocking traffic. You're getting on people's nerves, and you're holding these fucking signs, screaming like a bunch of banshees. Oh, Palestine this, Palestine that. Doesn't have anything to do with the fucking No King thing. And so you're holding a sign that was endorsed from this lady who was part of the Walton family, who has hundreds of millions of dollars, doesn't give a shit about you, and you're trying to protest Trump when Jay Inslee is literally acting as if he is a king and an emperor and not listening to anything that the fucking president of the United States says. And then you can sit there and be like, well, it's because the president of the United States is trying to be a dictator and all this other stuff and blah, blah, blah. Well, you weren't saying that shit with Biden, were you? You didn't say that shit with Obama. You didn't say that with anybody else. Out of all the presidents that have ever been elected, this is the first time that anyone has ran into a brick wall and ridicule every step of the way, and every step of the way he has had to continuously fight his way through the courts just so they can rule on the constitutionality of it, which they have every single time because that's what the fuck he does. So, congratulations. You know, you aren't protesting the fact that voters voted for $30 car tabs and that they keep raising them. No, no, no. You aren't protesting that. You're not protesting for the city transit. No, no, no. You're not protesting for the city. You're not protesting that they just spent $100 something million to go and put forth on a new baseball field. Or you're not protesting the extra $20 million. You're not protesting that you own a house and you got to spend $400 to $600 extra a month in property taxes. No, 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 no. You're not protesting the property tax. You're literally protesting the guy who wants to fucking ban the IRS. You're protesting the guy who wants to get rid of the IRS, is what you're doing. That's fucking stupid. You're protesting the guy who doesn't want illegals, people that are not US citizens, to get Social Security. You're protesting that guy because he wants to get people not on Social Security or people that shouldn't be on Social Security off Social Security, illegals. So people that are on Social Security that are legal in the United States that have paid into this motherfucker can get paid more. And you're protesting the fact that this guy is trying to pay you more and take people that are illegal off. And no other fucking country does that. So, but yet, none of you liberal fucks want to sit there and shell out money to people for no fucking reason. Instead, you want to sit there and think that I should work all day for you, which is absolutely fucking wrong. This is a republic. My pay, you know how much of my paycheck should be going to any fucking taxes? Zero. Zero. $0. I shouldn't be paying in anything. I shouldn't be paying in your bullshit Social Security. I shouldn't be paying in any of this bullshit. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want any of it. I don't want any of this crap. I want nothing to do with nothing that the fucking city has to offer. And I bought this house and I paid fucking sales tax on it. That's all the city should get. They shouldn't be fucking taxing me every month because they have no fucking right. It's theft. It's complete theft. They're stealing my money. They're stealing my money. They're stealing every homeowner out there right now. They are stealing your money. They're stealing your money. And they say, oh, well, the value of the house is blah, blah, blah. Fuck you, man. I can put a value, I can put whatever value I want on my property, not the city, not the county, nobody. You buy your property, it's yours. Welcome to America, motherfucker. So yeah, you want to sit here and play these bullshit games and act like you have some righteous authority to fucking take from my paycheck. Yeah, everybody should be pissed right now. Every homeowner should be pissed. And you could be some asshole sitting there in your grandma's basement. Ooh, fuck this guy. Or you could be some asshole sitting in a fucking apartment. Oh, I don't even own a house. Well, duh, motherfucker. The apartment complex gets taxed, the property insurance per fucking unit. Yeah, $400 to $600 a month. You're paying extra in just fucking taxes. You're paying $1,800 a month for what should be a $1,400 apartment, but you're paying that extra $400 because you're covering the fucking taxes, you moron. And then you're paying all this in utilities 3 times more than the national average because the same assholes that voted to raise your property taxes are the same assholes voting to raise your utilities. So I mean, this is real basic math. Jesus Christ, I don't even know at what point do people wake up? You know, I don't know. I don't even know. It's all for nothing. I don't even know if people listen to shit, but um, that's all I got. I'm working myself up for no fucking reason. But yeah, worked all day. It's me being tired. God bless. Take care. I wish everybody well. I hope things work out for the best. We're gonna know soon. Um, if I get in the top two, like I'm gonna get even more unhinged. Okay, I'm gonna get more unhinged about all this bullshit. So I mean, it's only gonna get crazier. And I had an interview yesterday uh, with the Everett Herald, and the more I talk about it, I get fired up. And sometimes I say shit, and I'm just like, man, okay, sorry. So I apologize if maybe um, I don't give an exact dollar amount on something, but in the general spirit of the context of the things that I argue about and for, like I'm pretty fucking spot on. And I've been pretty right over the years about a lot of this stuff. So a lot of it's good intuition. A lot of it's paying attention to global politics, local politics, um, looking at everything from a broader spectrum and not looking at everything from a very narrow scope. So it's it's hard to keep a level head when you're dealing with this level of evil. And that's what it is. This is a good versus evil. Um, God exists, and He is here, and He is present, and He is always texting us, and He knows how this is going to end. He told us already how this is going to end. So it brings me comfort in knowing that no matter what happens in my lifetime, I already know how this is going to end because I have an overabundance of resounding faith. So, all kidding aside, the evil are going to keep being evil and they're going to keep doing evil things because this world lies in the hands of the wicked, not in the righteous. And all we can do is speak passionately with a guiding light and point people in the right direction. And we could speak honest and truthful with everyone and love one another with care, compassion, kindness. And that is all we can do as a human species and as a decent human being. With that said, we have an obligation to be the voice to champion and to tell people what that means and how to open your minds and your heart to those around us in our community. And you will be surprised at the things that you start to see when you just take a step back, you take a deep breath, and you just kind of let your senses feel the weight of the world and the way things are, and just really absorb the knowledge, because God is always telling us what to do in our lives. And we might not understand why we're in positions that we are and why we are where we are today, but it is the overabundance of resounding faith that we have in God that He will lead us in the right path. I don't know why I'm doing this. God knows. I go just by happenstance. I go with the flow. I'm guided by, I took a path, and I got spiritually in touch, reading scriptures and being taught a lot of biblical truths. And in my own personal spiritual path, I found what I believe to be the true Word of God. I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. And I wholeheartedly believe that we are all intended for great things and we are built in His image. So we do need to treat each other like brothers and sisters and show care and compassion. But in care and compassion, it does say you don't need to accept things that are wicked. Care and compassion is different than accepting evil things. And it says to hate what God hates, love what God loves. So with that, when people do wicked things and they do evil things, you have to stand up and you have to say, this is not right, this is not okay. And have faith. And have faith. And I'm not saying stand up and say things in a disrespectful or demeaning way. All you have to do is say, this is wrong, this is out of control. Like, I'm not doing it. And nobody can force you to do something that is evil or wicked. And I believe, and I've seen it, God protects you when you do the right thing. As long as you walk in the path of the righteous, you will have that protection. I believe that 110%. And the minute you subdue yourself to that, your life goes a million times better, no matter what circumstances or what challenges the world throws at you. At the end of the day, knowing that God is there for you no matter what, and everything else is just fodder. So with that, God bless, and have a good night, and I'll talk to you all later.